Morena Year 11. This week we've got an exciting week. We're actually going to open up the Bible and look at the particular messages in this. So our goal is up on the screen here is to look at how the Catholic social teaching principles are actually drawn from the Bible, because we know that these principles are created from two factors. The first is the teachings of Christ, and the second are the encyclicals, which means cycle, which is a letter written by the Pope to the faithful. And from here, they created the 7 principles that we are currently studying. So what I'm going to do first off is that a key aspect of your learning this week is to actually be able to analyze scripture. And up on screen here, I have some focusing questions which are going to help you to do this in your activities. So the area that we're focusing on is from Genesis, and we're trying to work out, okay, what principle is being demonstrated in front of us. So it's talking about when God created humankind in his image, and he gives responsibility to humanity to care for it. And secondly, there's a focus that God created mankind in his image, and in his image he created them in male and female form. So when we're looking at this, the first thing that I'd say is that you're going to be given a range of different quotes. And the first step is to actually read the whole chapter that the quote's within. So with Genesis 1:26, I'd read aspects of this to get a feel for what's actually taking place. And secondly, based on this, who's actually in this particular quote? So there's a key focus on God the Creator, and then we've also got these 2 other individuals of the first 2 people of humanity. In our scripture here, we've got this idea that God is creating, he's in that process of creation, and you're going to do these steps for each of the scripture you have. What are the key words in the quote? So when I'm looking at this, obviously I'm thinking about mankind. There's this big focus on our image, in our own image, in God's image, and that God is the creator. And the final step is to go, what's the actual message of the quote? And I think we're picking up that there's this idea that God is the creator and that he's created male and female. So based on that, this is getting me to think that a key principle that we've looked at must be life and dignity of the human person, because that's based on the concept that we all deserve respect and that we're all equal because we're made in the image and likeness of God. And that is correct because it's drawn from this particular piece of scripture along with others that supports that particular principle. So I'll just shift to our key learning this week. And so there's a bit of a choice here. So the box in orange is a must do. So you and a partner must do that, or you can work by yourself. And the other 5 boxes are can do's. And out of the 5 can do's, you've only got to do 2. So there's 1, the must do, and then the 2 can do's. So ultimately, we're going to have a crack at 3 learning activities this week. And let's have a look at the must do one. Is you can create a mind map or a poster or a drawing, and what you've got to do is place these 5 principles on the page or in the drawing, and down here you have scripture, and what you've got to do is try and link the scripture to the principles up there. So for instance, the one that I just did was Genesis, and I would put that beside life and dignity of the human person. And for each bit of scripture that you match up, you've got to say why you think that that particular scripture relates to that particular principle. So for me, I'd say, well, Genesis 1:26 relates to life and dignity of the human person because it focuses on the concept that God was creating and that God created us in his image. And I'm done. So it's only just a short little sentence reflection. And I thought I'd just add this in here as if you can click on that link. There's just a bit of an example, and it kind of frames what we've been doing in the past 3 weeks and what we'll be doing at the end of this term when it comes to show all of the learning that you've done. So getting back to the can-dos, and we've got 2 to do out of 5, is that you can open this up and do a bit of a meditation activity if you like. This one here is looking at a bit of scripture interpretation in terms of can you understand the hidden meanings and messages within a story in the gospel. Bible freestyle is when you just open up the Bible and you just get to read it and you get to reflect on the particular reading that you've been doing. You can do this one here, which is a photo drawing, which is based on these 3 bits of scripture, going for a bit of a walk, drawing or taking images that you think reflect these particular Bible references. And then finally, I've set up another Flipgrid because I absolutely love them, is that as you're reading the Bible this week, share your favorite message from the Bible with us and tell us why. So that can be, a short 20, 30-minute reflection, or if you're getting really into it, you can do it for a bit longer. And then finally, down the bottom is just our Padlet. I'm really enjoying seeing your reflections and what you're learning this week, because that really helps me to understand where we're at and how we can move forward. So remember to head on to our classroom. We've got our Google Meet this Wednesday and Friday. And just remember that to join these, you just have to click there, or it'll be in the announcement that I'm about to post. Alrighty, see you guys on Wednesday.